takes place in the 1980s in Italy. It's about two young men, Oliver and Elio, who meet because Oliver is helping Elio's father do some research. They soon learn that they have feelings for each other, and the movie is about that. It's about their relationship. This movie completely ignores what we are taught a story is supposed to be composed of. So a story is supposed to have a beginning, a conflict, middle part, and then the ending when everything gets resolved. What sets Call Me By Your Name apart is that it didn't have a clear conflict or a villain or an obstacle. It was almost like a fly on the wall style documentary where you're just observing these people live their life. It was a story about a romance between these two people. It was pure, it was raw, it was simple, and that's what I loved about this movie. Another thing that I loved about this movie, and probably what I loved the most about it, was the look, the overall look of it. Like I said, it was set in Italy in 1983, and nothing has ever made me want to go to Italy as much as this movie. Except for the Lizzie McGuire movie, of course. It was just extremely beautiful and romantic. Timothée Chalamet is someone who completely deserves every single award that he has been nominated for this movie. I firmly believe he will win the Academy Award for Best Actor, or at least I hope he does, because what he did in this movie was excellent. Another great performance in this film was by Michael Stuhlbarg as Elias' dad. My favorite moment in this film was delivered by him at the end. That monologue, I think, was the most beautiful and important moment in this movie. One thing I did think while I was watching Call Me By Your Name is that it's a very, very slow-paced film, and it just feels really, really long. Like I said, the lack of conflict and the simplicity of it makes this movie feel very slow. Just keep that in mind when you're going to watch it. I have a friend who completely hated it because of the pace, but I understand why it was made like this. Love, especially when you're a teenager, it can be very slow, it can be very confusing, and even though Elliot was wise beyond his years, he was still a teenager finding out things about himself that he didn't know before. So I think they depicted that exploration, that confusion, that indecisiveness very well in this movie. There's a particular scene involving a peach that can be very hilarious, but at the same time it makes you understand what Elio is going through in his head. Call Me By Your Name might not be everyone's cup of tea. I personally really liked that there weren't many conflicts or any obstacles at all, and that it was a very simple but beautiful film. I think it's a very different piece of art, and if you have that in mind when you go watch it, I think you can really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are on Call Me By Your Name, if you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you thought it was really slow. And yeah, if you just want to talk about the peach scene, then go ahead. I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you did, please give me a like because that helps me out a lot. And I have nothing else to say. See you on the next one.